from there. All right. So thank you all for joining us for tonight's career night with KW. Tonight, we're really going to be talking about kind of three things. All right. The first is what does it take to get your real estate license, right? The second, and what does that process look like, right? The second is what should you look for in a brokerage, and what are some of the things, because everybody who gets the real estate license has to join a brokerage, right? That's part of the process that we're going to talk about. So the second thing we're going to talk about is what are the things that you should be looking for in a brokerage? What are some of the things that help agents be successful when they're getting started? And then the third thing we're going to talk about is what is it that Keller Williams does to help agents be successful when they're getting started? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Do you all feel like you're in the right place? This is what you came here for?
Yeah. Can you hear me or no? Should I mute this or unmute it?
So here's what I'm going to do. I love feedback. I love questions. I love participation. So feel free to unmute yourself. What I will ask though is keep yourself muted. All right. And then if you have a question, just unmute yourself. But here's the thing. Don't unmute yourself and just start talking. All right. Because the way Zoom works, Zoom picks up on the last person who spoke. And then depending on which view people are using, it then highlights that person, right? So when people just start talking, Zoom gets confused. It's really not meant for like happy hour style conversations where everybody's just talking in a big room. It's really meant for a kind of like one-way communication back and forth, right? So if you have a question, or if you have something that you want to ask about, or a comment or something, anything like that along those lines, unmute yourself and then give me a second. All right. When you unmute yourself, I notice, okay, I can tell that you've unmuted yourself, and then I'll call on you for a question, comment, whatever. Okay. Sound good? Thumbs up. All right, cool. All right. So three things that we're going to talk about. What it's like to get started. Was there anything that didn't sound correct? Like you're like, wait, I don't think I'm in the right place. Or is there anything else that you guys are looking to get out of tonight? Any questions that you have? This is an opportunity for you to now unmute yourself. All right. Yeah. Marie.
Hi. I actually just got on. Someone just mentioned it to me maybe literally 20 minutes ago. Okay. And I'm kind of on the fence about trying to decide if I want to get into the real estate business.
Sure. Okay.
I'm on the fence.
All right. So yeah. So one of the things we'll talk about tonight, which might help you make a decision, are some of the things that you're going to have to do to kind of find success in this business, right? As well as some of the benefits that you get from being an agent, right? What, like, you know, and we'll talk a little bit about that. So hopefully this will help you. All right. I do think you're in the right place. And what might make sense is also to have kind of a further follow-up conversation. All right. Everybody else good?
I actually have a question.
Sure.
Does the information tonight apply to all states, meaning like New York, Connecticut, New Jersey?
Well, I will say that the first piece that we're going to talk about is, which is getting your license. It does tend to be the same process. There might be slight differences in it from state to state. All right.
Okay.
I'll address that. Thank you for asking the question, though. I'll address that as we go through that section of tonight as well. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, the second two sections, though, however, are pretty much relevant no matter where you are, because we're talking about being successful in real estate, which I'll be honest with you, a lot of people think, well, my location's different. I get that your location is different, and yet building a business is building a business. And the things that we find are successful here in Connecticut are successful, also help agents be successful in California and Florida and rural Iowa and New York and New Jersey and Massachusetts and Rhode Island, right? These are what we work off of, and we're going to talk a little bit about this, are models for success in this business. And because they're models for success, they work no matter where you are. All right. So that's kind of part of what we're going to be talking about as well. Make sense? Sound good?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. So now One last request before we get started. If this is your first time here, I would love for you to put your contact information in the chat. All right. Name, phone number, email, whatever the easiest and best way to get in touch with you is. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, for everybody who does that, we have a little reward for everybody, a prize. I'll announce announce that and tell you what it is later. All right. But we have a prize for everybody. We just need a way of getting in touch with you to actually get it to you. All right. So just put your name, your contact information in the chat. And then this way we have a way of getting in touch with you afterward. All right. Perfect. Okay. So like I said, first thing that we're going to talk about today is what is it that you have to do? This is kind of the most common question we get from people who join us from career night, which is, I'm considering a career in real estate. I'm not sure if I want to do it, but really I'm not sure if I want to do it because I don't even know what it would take to actually do it. So how do I get started? So in Connecticut, real estate licensees, real estate salespeople and brokerages are, they're regulated by the Department of Consumer Protection. And they're the people that is the government organization that has determined what it requires in order to get an actual license. Now, in the state of Connecticut and New York and New Jersey and pretty much every state, you need a license in order to help people buy or sell properties, lease properties, rent properties, right? And get paid for it, okay? So if you want to get paid for doing this, you need to have a license. The process for getting a license is 60 hours of education, all right? What that means is typically in Connecticut, it's either taught live in a classroom or it's taught live via Zoom, just kind of like this, all right? One of the schools that we recommend is realestateuniversity.com. Two reasons why, well, there's many reasons why we recommend them. The first is they have really great instructors. The instructors, whether you're teaching it, whether you're learning it live or via Zoom, they tend to be a little bit more relatable. It's not just reading from a textbook, which is what you get at a lot of real estate schools. All right, that's the first and foremost. Second, they work on a rolling schedule, which means you can start your classes anytime and finish it when you finish your 60 hours. All right, you don't have to wait for like a scheduled start date, and there's no gaps. Like they don't ever stop with the classes. So they teach 12 hours a week, which is the mandated state maximum you can take in a week is 12 hours worth of your, 12 hours of your educational credits. All right. So they teach 12 hours a week. They offer them at multiple times. So you can get your 12 hours in, and it's a rolling schedule so that you can start anytime and finish as quickly as possible. All right. The other nice thing about that is if you miss a session, you can just keep taking the class, right? Another nice piece of it is once you've actually signed up to take the exam, if you feel like you need a little bit more help or a little bit more studying or whatever, you can continue taking the classes, or you can go back and pop in at any time as well. All right. Once you've taken your classes, you're going to then send in an application to the state of Connecticut. All right. That's going to say, okay, I've taken my classes. I'd like to become a real estate agent. You're going to send in your application. You're going to pay a fee for that. All right. And they're going to either approve or not approve your application. Okay. If they approve your application, that then makes you eligible to take the exam. So you're going to take the state exam. It's run by a company called PSI. All right. You're going to send your approved application out to PSI. They're going to look everything over, and then send you back a piece of paper that says, okay, you're now eligible. And now you can go online and schedule a test. You're going to then go to one of the testing centers locally. Locally, one of the nearest ones is Milford. There's also one just over the border in New York. There's one just over the border up in Massachusetts. There's one further in like the Northeast Connecticut as well. But the closest testing location in our area for most people on these calls tends to be Milford. All right. But you are able to take it at any of those other locations, and they do have testing locations kind of all over the place. All right. You're going to take the test. You have to get a C on the test in order to pass and get your license. All right. So not a huge high bar, right, to pass. And then once you've passed, you're then able to then go out and hire a brokerage. All right. And I say hire a brokerage. I use that language really specifically because it is you hiring the brokerage, not the other way around. All right. And that's a different, it's a slightly different mindset that you have to take in order to really, when you go into those meetings, right? Because when you go to hire a brokerage, there are three things that about a brokerage that tend to lead to how successful you will be with that brokerage. All right. And whether and how good of a fit that brokerage will be for you. The first is culture, right? What is the brokerage's mindset? What are their beliefs around working with agents? What are their beliefs around their relationship with agents and consumers, agents and agents in the brokerage, consumers in the brokerage, right? What is the brokerage's role in the agent's business, and vice versa? How do they treat their people, right? How do they treat their clients? How do decisions get made, right? How do agents treat each other? What's the environment feel like? What's the energy feel like, right? All of these things are really important. That all kind of goes into the culture of a company. And finding the right fit is going to be really, really important for you, right? If you don't feel a cultural fit with your company, you're going to be less likely to show up for things. You're going to be less likely to ask for help, right? You're going to be less likely to get the help that you need or are looking for. All right. The second thing to be looking out for with a brokerage is their technology. What kind of tools do they offer their agents? What kind of technology do they offer their agents? All right, that are going to help you be successful. And then the third piece, which is also really, really, really important. All right. And it tends to be what most people think is the most important, is training, right? How does the brokerage approach training you and teaching you and helping you become successful in this business? All right. And now from all of our experience, and this isn't my experience, this is all of Keller Williams' experience as the largest real estate sales organization in the world that the world has ever existed in the world, history of the world. All right. These are the three things that tend to lead to a good fit between an agent and a brokerage and the future success of that agent. All right. Any questions around how you get started?
Oh, I have one question. It was about when you talked about after we take our classes and we become eligible for the application or to take the test, what makes someone not eligible to get passed or
Sure, there are a number of things that could make you ineligible. Honestly, there are very few. The committing of certain felonies can make you ineligible. Not all felonies, but some felonies. All right. You can commit some felonies and still be eligible, but not all. Right. So there are things like that. Whether or not you've had a real estate license before, and if you don't have it for specific reasons, like you were, and that could be here in this state or others. Like if you had a license revoked for reasons, things like that. That's the kind of the basic things that they're looking for. There's no like education requirements other than the 60 hours that I mentioned earlier or anything like that. That's the kind of stuff that the state is looking for.
Okay, cool. Okay, I just want to know that. And then just one other thing, as the brokerage, that's we talk about brokerage, that we're talking about like Keller Williams or like William Ravis, different offices like this. Is that what you mean by brokerage?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. And that could be some of the big brokerages, right? Like Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Ravis, right? Like those are the big three. It could also mean it's very small brokerages, right? And the experiences will be very different, right? The approaches will be very different. And that's why I say you really want to focus on kind of those three things in order to get a feel for what working in that brokerage feels like and would look like, and what kind of support you would have, and what kind of training you would have, and what kind of technology you would have, and things like that. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, cool. Thank you.
No problem. Kathy, question?
Yes. Is that the only test that we have to take to be licensed?
Well, typically some of the schools have their own test that you have to pass in order to pass the school.
Okay, so with the university that you mentioned, we have to take a test with them, I believe. And then we could put in a request to take it with the state. And then once we take the test with the state and pass, then we could become affiliated with the brokerage. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem. And so to answer your question from before, Umair, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes, you did.
All right, first try. So to answer your question, New York, for instance, is a very similar process. Some of the differences is that they require 70 hours of education instead of 60. There's online learning as well, but it's not necessarily instructor-led, web-based, online learning. It could be more of a webinar style or like a click-through online training, where you're just watching videos and answering questions and clicking buttons for 70 hours. So that can be a little bit different. Massachusetts, New Jersey, like they're all, it's essentially the same process. It's education, application, exam, hire a brokerage, right? It's just, there might be slight nuances to that.
So would I be able to still enroll with Real Estate University, or I would have to look for something in New York?
So I believe Real Estate University is licensed, is a licensed school in Connecticut and Rhode Island. I don't believe they're a licensed school in New York. The other piece, the fourth piece, which I did mention, is if you are looking to get your Connecticut license and you use Real Estate University, if you actually call them before you sign up, I believe they give KW referrals a discount on the course fee. All right, so I think you get like free books or you get a percentage off or something along those lines. All right, so that's an opportunity for you as well.
Sorry, can you say that again, Dan?
Yeah, so if you go to sign up for the exam, for the class with Real Estate University, and you mention that you were sent by Keller Williams, they will actually give you a discount. All right, and we're the only brokerage they do that for, and it's because we have a really good relationship with the owner of the company. I sometimes teach for them on a stand-in substitute teacher basis. And we just have a really great relationship with that school because they do a really good job. So, all right. Kathy, you might want to reach out to them if you've already enrolled. Say, hey, listen, I just want to let you know I was referred by Keller Williams. I heard that they offer a discount, blah blah blah. They might be able to do some sort of refund or something to help out. All right. All right. Any other questions about the process of getting started? All right, beautiful. So what we're going to do now is what I'd like to do is kind of pivot to that second piece, right? Which we've talked about the process of getting started. We've talked about the 3 things to look for in a brokerage that are going to help you to be successful. Now, what I'd like to talk about is the last piece, which is what is different about Keller Williams that will help you be successful. All right. What is it that we do to help our agents get started at a high level that has allowed our agents to grow bigger businesses than ever before, and has created a better success rate, so to speak, than the industry standards, and we'll kind of go from there. Does that sound good? Any questions before we dive in? All right, let's go. So I mentioned the first piece is culture, right? So I want to talk to you a little bit about the Keller Williams culture. We are a company that is based off of a very well-defined set of values, beliefs, and a very, very clear mission. We are an organization that is not about real estate. In fact, we like to say we're an organization that just happens to be in real estate, right? And we've used that a number of times to help define us, because that definition is really, really important, right? And as an organization, as a company, we're very clear on what our mission, our values, and our beliefs are. All right. So just as an example, our mission as an organization has nothing to do with real estate and has everything to do with our people. All right. Because our mission is to build careers worth having, businesses worth owning, lives worth living, experiences worth giving, and legacies worth leaving. And if you think about that in a little bit, you'll recognize that none of those things have anything to do with real estate, right? But they have everything to do with helping our people think bigger, live bigger, right? And do more. We have a couple agents on the call. I don't know if any of you would love to, would like to chime in on how this has maybe showed up in your world. I know we have quite a few people who are not with, are not agents yet, but, so it might be helpful for them to hear from, some of our, more experienced agents who have actually experienced this and what those differences have been. Anybody? Jennifer, Jedna, Marissa. Marissa, how are you in 2 Zooms at the same time? I saw you on Ignite earlier. No? All right, no worries. No worries. I know I put you on the spot there a little bit. Right. But here's the thing, it's when you have an organization whose focus is on its people, we show up a little bit differently. And we're going to talk kind of more about that. So I want you to think about this mission as we're going through the rest of this, this conversation tonight. All right. The second way that we show up differently is in our values. We're very clear as to what is most important. And what we in our values are very clear in that it's God, family, and then business. Now, we're not a religious organization. We're not a church or anything along those lines. But what we know is that when people put their faith first, all right, they tend to live better lives. They tend to live happier lives, right? It's as soon as you start putting other things before family, other things before your faith, when people get lost, right? And we do that as an organization, right? So when we say God, family, then business, I say, what are our values? What are our beliefs? What are our mission? That's what we're putting first. And then it's family. It's taking care of our people. And if we do those 2 things, the third thing becomes natural, right? Then business, right? If we take care of our people and we stick to our beliefs, to our faith, and we have faith in our beliefs, the business is going to take care of itself. Now, speaking of our beliefs, we're also incredibly focused on our belief system. And I will tell you that the belief system isn't just it's a compass that points us in the right direction, but it makes our lives easier, because our belief system is what we use to make decisions as an organization. It's also what we use to help train our agents how they're expected to behave, right? And what to expect from us as an organization, right? So we lovingly call this our Y4C2Ts, all right, which is really just an acronym for everything that you see on your screen, right? So the Y, the W and the I is win-win or no deal, all right? Every decision that we make as an organization has to be a win-win, or we're just not going to do it. When our agents are working with other agents, not from Keller Williams, right? Or we have a disagreement, or we have some issue that we have to deal with or work through, well, we have to create a win-win outcome. It can't be win-lose. It can't be lose-lose, right? Or else we're just not going to do it. The I, integrity, do the right thing. When you do the right thing, everything else just becomes easier, right? Our 4 C's, right? Why 4 C's? Our customers always come first. None of us exist in this business without our customers, which is why our customers have to come first. We are fiduciaries, right? That's something you'll learn in real estate school. That means that we have to put their priorities above our own. We have to put their interests above our own. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. If you're gonna say you're gonna do something, do it. If you want to achieve something, put a plan in place and do it. Commit 100%. That's what leads to success, right? Communication. This is a huge one nowadays, right? With the world that we're living in right now, where there's so much discord, right? And so much and so much tension, seek first to understand. How many problems in our world could be solved if we just first chose to understand a situation or understand somebody else's perspective or somebody else's experience? Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results, right? Let's think about something before we start doing it. Let's think about the results that we want and come up with ideas on how we're going to get there. Those are our 4 C's, right? Now our 2 T's, right? Why 4C, 2T, teamwork. Together everyone achieves more. This is huge in our culture because we're one of the few real estate companies where our agents actually work together to help sell real estate. Where our agents have a philosophy of together everyone achieves more. A rising tide raises all ships, right? So our agents actually share information. They share ideas. They share successes. They share challenges. And then together they help resolve those challenges, right? We hold monthly masterminds with our agents, where agents have the ability to share their challenges and get feedback from other agents. It's actually a very rare occurrence in this industry for agents actually to work together and share ideas. At a lot of other companies, agents guard their secrets, like they have some sort of special sauce that's allowing them to sell their 5 houses a year, right? Trust starts with honesty. If we can't be honest with each other, how are we ever supposed to trust each other, right? Our new one, our E, right? Y4C 2 T's, right? The E is equity, opportunities for all. We're going to talk a little bit about how this comes through, but we're an open books company. We're a company of opportunity. All right. We are constantly looking for ways to create equity in that opportunity. Not just for our agents, not just for the organization as a whole, but also for our consumers, right? How can we create more opportunity for the everyday consumer to be a homeowner, right? What are some of the things that have been created in our industry that stymie equity, and how can we change those things? Right? How can we do things differently to create more equity and create more opportunities for people? And our last one, success is results through people, right? When our people succeed, we succeed. And that's a belief that it kind of permeates everything, right? You don't sell real estate unless you're helping your clients achieve their goal, which is to buy, sell, invest, lease, rent real estate, right? So your success will be directly related to your ability to create success for other people. Our success as an organization is directly related to our ability to create success for you. Make sense? All right. So I know I can get a little preachy when it comes to our culture. All right. And it's because it's important. And here's the question you should be asking of every brokerage you join. What is your mission? Who are you as an organization? What do you believe in as an organization? And then listen for the answers. Because I guarantee that some of the people that you talk to, they might not even have them. All right. Or they might have them, but it's not quite as clear. At Keller Williams, we are incredibly clear on this because these things are so clear that we have them written in huge on walls in our office so that everybody knows exactly who we are. Literally, when you walk, I'm in our Ridgefield office right now. And when you walk in the door of the Ridgefield Market Center, our belief system is up on the wall when you first walk in. Everything, all of this is up on the wall for anybody to read. So any customer that walks in the door knows exactly what we believe in. Any agent that walks in the door knows exactly what we believe in. Any agent who's new to Keller Williams knows exactly what we believe in and how they're going to be treated and how we expect them to treat others. Any questions? No questions on this, huh? All right. Doesn't look like you guys are falling asleep at least, so I'll take that as a good sign. All right. All right. So how does our culture come through in our everyday, right? How do we not just make, how is it that these aren't just words that we speak or that we put up on a wall, right? Well, we do that through a bunch of things. And that's what we're going to talk about now. As we talk about how we operate, as we talk about our technology, our training, all of that stuff. All right. So the first thing that we did when Gary Keller was growing this organization and he wanted to cement this mission, these values, these beliefs into our company, is he said, well, listen, if this is the culture of our company, how can we do that? And one of the things he said is okay, we're going to set up agent leadership councils, right? Because if we're going to be an organization of success, results through people, right? Well, we need to give our people, if we're going to be equity, opportunities for all, we need to create those opportunities for our people. And our agents need to share in the success, and they need to share in the decisions of how this organization is run and who we are. So he created the Associate Leadership Council. And as this company grew, as Keller Williams grew, every single office has an agent leadership council. So that every single office has agents who have a say in how the company operates. They have a say in the decisions that are made. So that the agent is always a partner in this business. As the company grew even more, he created regional agent leadership councils. So our organization is part of the New York tri-state region. So every single local market center has an associate leadership council. All of the market centers in our region have nominated people to the regional associate leadership council. And then all of Keller Williams has nominated our international associate leadership council. And anytime any kind of change is going to be made to the organization as a whole, our associates get to vote on those changes and decide whether or not that's something that they think fits our company, whether or not that's the direction this company should go. And so our local ALCs, as we call them, vote on those subjects, on those changes. And then those votes get passed up to our regions, and our regional ALCs vote on those changes. And if it passes the regional level, then it goes to the international ALC, and our international ALC gets to look at those changes and then decide whether or not they think it's the right fit for this company, for the right direction for this company. And then they get to vote. And so it's only after our local, regional, and international agent leadership councils have given their okay to a change that a change in this organization is actually made. Our agents have a share in the decisions that are made, and then they also get to share in the success of the organization. And the way they do that is through our profit sharing system. So our local market centers share roughly 48%, not quite half, but just shy of 48% of all of the profits of this organization. And we do that to create shared success. We do that to create teamwork. right? When our agents have skin in the game, so to speak, right? They show up differently. They show up as partners. They show up as stakeholders, right? And that's what leads to the teamwork that we have. That's what leads to the trust that we have, to the commitment that we have, right, amongst our agents, which all leads to that shared success. So as of the end of last year, this organization had shared over $1.4 billion back with our associates. This year, our local organization, KW203, which consists of our Stanford, Ridgefield, Danbury, Newtown, and Westport offices, so far just this year through the end of September, we've shared over $1 million back with our associates in profit share. This is not little money. This is massive, massive amounts of money. And every single associate has the opportunity to earn profit share. Whether you're a brand new agent just getting started, or you're a 20-year veteran looking to make a change, that's been with Keller Williams from the very beginning, right? Every associate has the exact same opportunity to earn profit share. And we are the only organization that shares the profits back with our agents. Any questions around the ALC or profit sharing? No? All right, I'm going to keep on moving. So that kind of wraps up our culture, right? And yet I said the second thing that you should be asking about and thinking about is technology and tools, right? And the whole, for all of the existence of mankind, one of the things that sets us apart is our ability from every other organism on earth is our ability to use tools to make our lives easier, right? Real estate is no different. If anything, this past year and a half have changed, have created kind of a seismic shift in how we use technology, right? It's created a seismic shift in how consumers buy and sell houses, right? How consumers buy and sell anything. Every day, it was funny. I was walking my dog last night and I swear to God, I saw more Amazon delivery trucks on the road than I saw regular cars in my neighborhood, right? Technology is changing everything. Here's the thing. It's our belief that technology is not here to replace us, but to make our lives easier, to make our businesses run smoother so that we can focus on the things that are truly important, right? God, family, then business, right? Technology should allow you to run a more efficient business so that you can spend more time with your family, not less time. You shouldn't be using technology, shouldn't be getting in the way of you spending time with the people that are most important to you. It should be allowing you to spend more time with those people and to have better experiences with those people, right? Your technology should be bringing you closer to your clients, not making it harder for them to get in touch with you or harder for you to service them, right? Or distancing those relationships. It should be tightening those bonds. It should be creating a better experience for them, right? An experience worth giving. And so at Keller Williams, our approach to technology has been the same approach we've taken with everything else. Shared success, right? Shared decisions, shared success. So when we set out to build our technology, which was a seismic shift in how real estate companies have approached technology, we did it because that's what we knew our agents wanted. And we knew that because we went out and asked them. We said, what do you love and what do you hate about the technology we provide? And one of the things that they said they hated was that every time we buy a new piece of technology, they've got to unlearn what they used to do and learn how to do it again. And the problem with how technology was being used in real estate is that's the only way it's ever been done. When a real estate company wanted to provide some form of technology for their agents, they had to go out and find a vendor who provided that technology, or multiple vendors who provided that technology. Then they had to decide which one they were going to use. And then they would sign a contract with that vendor to provide that technology for their agents. So it might be a CRM, let's say, right? A contact relationship management system. All right. And that CRM allows agents to track their contacts and keep notes on them and have all the contact information for everybody in one place. Well, a brokerage would go out and find companies that that have created those things for real estate agents. And then they would turn around and contract with them, right? And buy that technology from them. The problem is, as soon as they did that, typically within a matter of months, that technology was now old technology. But they were locked into a contract for a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it was. And so all of a sudden, a year later, our agents are saying, hey, listen, I wish our technology did this. And we'd have no way of providing that to them except to go out to another vendor and buy a new piece of technology. Except now, what do our agents have to do? They have to learn how to use this new vendor, right? This new company's system. And so what we decided about 6 years ago was that we were no longer going to do that. We decided that when we looked at all of the other successful companies across other industries, right? Who were the biggest players? And we realized that every single one of the biggest players in all of those industries were tech companies. Amazon was the biggest retailer, right? Uber was the biggest transportation company, right? Apple, biggest tech company. They don't go out there and hire other companies to build their technology for them. They build it in-house. And we also realized that if we did this, we could build one system that just get updated. Every time you buy a new iPhone, you don't have to learn how to use it all over again, right? It works pretty much the same way. There might be you might download a new app that you have to get used to using, or a feature might change that you might have to get used to, or they might move a button from one place to another or add a swipe feature or something like that, right? But you don't have to relearn the whole system. And we realized if we built our own technology, we could do the exact same thing so that our agents never had to learn a new piece of technology ever again. And that was the start of how we built our technology, by asking our agents what they wanted and then building them the technology for them. All right. And so what that's led to is essentially the Keller Cloud ecosystem, right? What we did is we created KW Command, which is exactly what it sounds like. It is the command center for an agent's business. It was built in-house by our agents for our agents. And it was built in a way so that an agent can run their entire business from one place. It's a CRM, it's a marketing suite, it's a sales pipeline and transaction management software. All right. It's a design studio so that you can create beautiful images and graphics, and that works incredibly simple, and it's incredibly simple and easy to use. Now, it's a big piece of technology. It's literally everything you could possibly need to really run your business. So it might take a little while to learn how to use it and learn all the different bits and pieces. And I'm sure if I were to ask any of our agents to talk about this, they would have plenty to say about Command, because it's a lot, right? And yet it doesn't have to be complicated, right? Start with the basics. As you're building your business, the most important thing that you can do is build your database, build your sphere of influence, and then figure out a way to communicate to them on a regular basis so that nobody gets left behind. Use it for that and for that alone. And then as you start to get business, you'll learn how to use it to track your business, right? To do all of your documentation, to run your business, right? And as you get going, you're going to want to start doing some marketing. You're going to want to start maybe doing some paid advertising to really scale your business up as you get a hang for this business, right? And as you're not as concerned with, well, how do I work with this buyer? How do I work with the seller? How do I do these things, right? You're going to start to want to really build a big business, and you can leverage this technology to do that. That's KW Command. Everything that you could use, that you could need to run your business in one place, built by agents for agents. Our KW mobile app and web, and also consumer facing websites, right? KW.com and the KW mobile app. This is a mobile app that we built for our agents that's branded to our agents. So everybody's app, every single agent at Keller Williams gets a branded app that's branded to you as the agent. It's like having your own version of Zillow or Realtor.com or Redfin or HomeSnap or whatever webs, Trulia, right? Whatever site or app you like to use to search for homes, the KW mobile app is your version of that. So that you can share that with all of your database, your sphere of influence, and it's connected with Command, which means you can now have an interactive experience with the people that you know that are looking to get into real estate, looking to buy real estate. They want to search for properties. And now you can have an integrated relationship with them. You can have integrated communication with them right through the mobile app. And also know that you're the only agent that they're going to be seeing as they do that. They're not going to be bombarded with ads. They're not going to be bombarded with other agents' contact information who are paying to be there. And then KW Connect, which is our online learning and training platform, right? That's where our agents can go to connect with each other and to connect to education and training. All right. And that's what we're going to talk about next, because that is the third piece. But for most brand new agents, the most important piece to finding success in this business. So KW Connect is a 24/7, 365-day a year resource for live training, on-demand training, unique courses, and unique content. I like to say it's a combination of YouTube, masterclass, Facebook, kind of combined. And the reason I say that is because our agents have the ability to post on Connect. Our agents have the ability to share what they're doing so that you don't have to go out there and recreate the wheel. And because of our philosophy of teamwork and success through people, right, and creativity, our agents do it on a regular basis. So there's literally more content on kwconnect.com than you could ever get through. It'd be like saying, I'm going to watch all of Netflix. It's impossible. You could never do it, right? There's just too much content there. And it's changing and it's being added to every single day. And then we have live training every month, every week, every day, right? That is taught by some of the best agents and the best coaches in the entire country. All right. All right. And now here's the nice piece is that that's just our online training, because what we also have is local training on the KW models and systems. All right. Some of these models include the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. That is this red book right here behind me. It is the #1 best-selling real estate book of all time. It was written by Gary Keller, Dave Jenks, and Jay Papasan back in 2009. And it is still the #1 best-selling real estate book of all time. Because what it is it's a breakdown of all the models and systems that it takes to build $1 million real estate business. It's the blueprint for how to do it. And even though it's over 10 years old, almost 12 years old now, it is still the blueprint for how to build $1 million real estate business. And this is what we teach on. This is what we train on. So that you're not learning how to sell a house. You're learning how to sell houses in a way that will allow you to build a massive, massive business. All right. Another model and system, The One Thing. Another great book written by Gary Keller. This is what I actually read this book before I was even with Keller Williams. right? Because this is all about creating focus. It's about the 80-20 principle. It's about creating focus and creating results through focus, right? How to get away from the myths of things like, multitasking and spreading yourself too thin. The most successful people in the world are incredibly focused, and they know how to focus on their priorities and which things will get them the most results, the biggest bang for their buck, right? It's all about time management and focus. Great book. We talk about this a lot. Shift. Another book. Right now, we are in a really incredible shifting market, right? When COVID hit, the market shifted 180 degrees, right? We went from a pretty stable market over the past 10 years in this area to an incredibly unstable market in a matter of weeks. Seller inventory disappeared. Buyer demand skyrocketed from people wanting to get out of the cities. And we've been in a shifted market ever since. But here's the thing, it's already starting to shift again. Demand has slowed a little bit. Inventory has risen, right? Price growth is starting to decline. Not decline, but it's slowing down. Still growing, but it's slowing down, right? These are the strategies that top agents use as the market's shifting to make sure that doesn't matter what the market is doing, their business is continuing to grow, right? These are the things that we teach to help our agents stay on top of the market as it's shifting. All right. We focus on models like leads, listings, and leverage. The three things to focus on to grow a big business, right? Our 4 fundamental models: our economic model, our lead generation model, our organization model, and our budget model, right? And then the mindset of the millionaire real estate agent, which is to think $1 million, earn $1 million, net $1 million, receive $1 million, and then give $1 million. Those are the 5 mindsets in the path of a millionaire real estate agent, right? So these are the models in the system, and then the systems that support those models to building a really big business. And that's what we focus our training on. Now, as an organization, we have training taught live every single day. We focus on growing a large real estate business, but because our mission isn't just about real estate, we also focus on financial management, wealth building, technology, time blocking, and time management. Heck, we even have a class to help teach these things to your children so that they can learn to think bigger, and they can learn to think differently, and they can learn leadership skills. Because again, our mission is not about real estate, it's about our people. All right, and the last model that we're going to talk about, which is also one that tends to be very common, is the Keller Williams financial model. Now, aside from everything else that we've talked about, one of the things that makes us so attractive as a company is our financial model, because we have what we call capped commissions, where our agents get to earn 100% of their commissions, where how much you pay to be a part of this organization is capped on an annual basis, so that you can grow a business as big as you want and know that you're only going to pay us X. Right? We have low fees. We have 1 annual fee, and that's it. Right? And it covers everything. We have our profit sharing system where you can earn passive income by helping the company grow. Leads and leverage. We provide leverage systems for our agents, like marketing and administrative services. All right. We have leads programs for our agents to receive leads. All right. And then finally, coaching and training. Right. We've talked about it a lot tonight, right? We have a coaching program that is not just an incredible program to help our agents get started. It is the #1 coaching program in our entire organization nationwide. And that is judged by how much business our agents are doing. The agents that are part of our coaching program sell more real estate than any other Keller Williams office in the entire company.
Quick question. Sorry to bother you, man. I mean, sorry to interrupt you, but what was the annual fee? Did you say the number specifically, or you just said there's
I
one
didn't.
annual fee?
I didn't, but I'm more than happy to, because again, we're an open books company, right? There's no secrets really. There's no secrets here. So it's $499. Every agent pays $499 a year to be a part of this organization. And then you pay a split on your commission. That's pretty much standard across the board. No matter what brokerage you go to, you're going to pay a combination of fees, and you're going to pay a combination of fees, and then you're going to pay a split on your commission. And what those fees look like and what they cover is always up in the air depending on which organization you're a part of. For us, it's really simple. The $499, Debbie, to answer your question, covers everything. We have no other fees. Yep, legal fee, E&O insurance. I mean, that's my point. Like, I'm not going to list them all, because you could literally ask me anything and I'll say it's covered, right? Like, because we don't charge for anything else, like anything extra, right? It's a flat annual fee, and then a split on your commission until you hit the cap. All right.
How
Super
much is
simple.
this split on the commission? Is it 50%, or what percentage is it from commission?
No, so that does get a little, that does, our standard commission split is 70-30 with a 6% royalty. Both the 6% royalty is capped, and the 30% and the company dollar, as we call it, is also capped. The reason why I say that's not quite standard, so to speak, is because that can change. That can change based on whether you're on a team, whether you're part of the coaching program, whether you're right. There's a lot of different things that can kind of come into play. But our kind of standard start, is 70-30 with a 6% royalty.
Gotcha.
All right. And both the 30% and the 6% are capped.
Within the company, is there office duties that you have to meet every week, every month, or how does that work out?
No, we believe that this is your business, and our job is here to support, is to be here to support your business. So how you choose to show up, what you choose to participate in, is your choice.
Gotcha. Thank you, man.
You're welcome. All right. It sounds like you guys are ready to ask questions. So what other questions do you have?
I know I had a couple. Wait, are you done with the presentation, or?
Yeah, that's it. That's what I got. That's what I have for all of you.
Oh, okay, cool. I wanted to know, how much is it to enroll into classes? And you said there's a 20% discount if you say you're from Keller's, or you say a realtor's name, right?
There is a discount if you tell them that Keller Williams sent you. I don't know exactly what the discount is. All right.
Oh, okay.
But I do know that realestateuniversity.com will offer a discount to Keller Williams referrals. All right. You just have to ask for it.
Do you know how much it is to enroll, or no?
I don't, honestly.
Okay.
The classes is $550. I just finished mine 60 hours, so it's $550 to enroll.
Okay, got you.
All right. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
If I am currently working part-time and thinking of taking classes and you said it's basically based on how much I put in, would you say that's a realistic thing to do? Or is it one of those things that if you really want to be successful and you want this to work, that you should just go in at 100 and above plus? Or is it something you could do while still maintaining a part-time position elsewhere?
I would say that's gonna I like to say that's gonna depend on you, right?
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because everybody's expectations are a little bit different, right? Everybody's definition of success is a little bit different, right? So what I would say, Mary, is well, what are your goals? What are you looking to achieve in this business? All right. Second is, what kind of timeline are you looking to achieve that in? And then third, what are your realistic expectations to how much time and effort you're able to put in to achieve those goals? With answers to those three questions, we can create a plan to get you there. All right. I have agents who work full-time jobs who make six figures in this as a side business. Right. And they don't go full-time in real estate because A, they either like their job, or B, it provides them benefits that they don't have elsewhere, like like by being an independent contractor, or they just don't want to go full-time, but they're able to build that level of business and handle that on a large business. All right, Debbie, to answer your question, no, there's no basic training requirement for current agents considering a transfer to KW. All right. If you'd like to talk more specifics about what's required, I'm more than happy to do that. Put your information in the chat and I'm more than happy to reach out to you or have somebody reach out to you for a one-on-one conversation. All right. So yeah, so we get that a lot. We don't require that agents be full-time or not have a second job or anything like that, because that's just silly, right? Everybody's goals and everybody's expectations are a little bit different. Our job as an organization is to help you achieve your goals, right? Is to understand them and help you understand them better so that you can put a plan in place to achieve those goals. I hope that answers your question, Mary.
It did. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Any other questions? All right, so make sure, if you haven't already, to put your name and contact information in the chat. What we're going to be doing is giving away a set of books. All right. So the Millionaire Real Estate Agent Shift and the One Thing. All right, we're going to be giving away a set of books. So if you would like to be eligible for that, please put your information in the chat and we will let you know. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. If you've already done that, feel free to sign off. I'm going to leave it open for a little bit longer, just so if anybody still hasn't had a chance to do that, they have a chance to get their information in. All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.
Just a number and your name.
Name, phone number, email, whatever's easiest to get in touch with you.
Gotcha. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.